Hello. Do you sometimes feel like it doesn't matter how much effort you put in, that it's not enough? That you are trying your absolute hardest to be the best you can, but it still doesn't feel enough? You still have this nagging anxiety, this feeling of restlessness, this feeling that you aren't able to feel peace. And I think this is for the majority of us. I think just because of the way our culture is, the way the world is set up, if you like, right now, the way that we have been brought into a system that is based pretty much exclusively on the external material world. Because of this system that we've been brought up into, for those of us who are earnestly seeking truth and alignment and a feeling of peace while we're here, I think it's common to come up against this belief system that it's not enough. We're not doing enough. And I'm no exception. And that's obviously why I'm talking about it today. Because it's something I've contemplated a lot. It's something that I've journaled in my own struggles, and it's something I've shared with many people. So I wanted to share an insight with you around this topic because I think it will be appreciated by many. And that is that while we're in that three-dimensional world, in the material world, we're always going to have that contrast, the duality, the reminder of the system we were brought up into. And this is where we are encouraged by the reminder that you are not the little ducklings. We are swans. We are swans in a duckling world. We are just simply not aligned when we try and operate at the material level. It will never be right. So all of this struggle that you're feeling, all of this feeling that you are always on this journey that is an uphill battle in the 3D world, it's not for you. It's not for the spiritual seeker. You can put that down. It's time to let that go. The three-dimensional struggle is something we need to move on from. It is part of the illusion. It's part of the deception that we begin to see through as we remember who we really are. And so this idea of struggle in our career, struggle in our relationships, struggle in our finances, struggle in our home life, struggle in our basic provisions, struggle in our finding fulfillment and career and finding, the success, the life of success. These struggles are not for us. It's time to put them down. It's time to let go of those, okay? Because they will never lead to fulfillment. They will never lead to what you're really seeking, and that is peace, that is love, that is union with the divine. Because we know deep down this is what we really yearn for. And no amount of struggling to find that in the external world is going to bring that in. And we know this deep down. So stop seeking through this old way of being. Yes, it's true. You'll never have enough while you're striving in this realm. There is no enough. You'll never be enough. You'll never have enough. Because we're operating within an illusion. There is no end point in an illusion. It's always the carrot dangling in front of us. So what's the alternative? Now, when we're seeking on the spiritual journey, we're seeking that union with God, that feeling of being home. That is outside the material realm. And I know you know this, but it's easy to forget. And it's easy to fall back on old habits and old programming and old paradigms where we finish our day and we sit down exhausted and we don't feel good enough. And that's because we're reverting back to the material program, to the illusion. So what we're needing to do is to start to practice awareness of who you really are. You are pure loving awareness. You are having an experience in a human body with a human mind. As a swan in a duck world, we don't operate on the same principles. There is no doing, creating, producing, achieving in order to find fulfillment, because the essence of who we really are is intrinsically fulfilled. We are pure loving awareness. There is nothing that needs to be done further. So there's no striving or producing or doing in our multidimensional self, because it's really just an unveiling of who we really are underneath all of the illusion. There's nothing to do. There's no further achievements to work towards. You are there. You have arrived. You are home. Now, once you really start to grasp this concept or this understanding, this inner standing, you'll no longer have that unrest, that anxiety, that feeling of walking up a hill all the time. You'll let that go. And you'll see that you're already there. You are with God in every moment. And we no longer try and find that feeling of union with God in external things. We don't need to do so many things in the external world. Our lives become more simple and more calm, certainly less drama. But the best part is the three-dimensional world around you will transform. It will turn into the world where the swan lives. The ducklings, they're there still. They're in another paradigm. The swan is free to float around with a higher perception. The swan receives directly from source the guidance and wisdom, and intelligence and intuition to navigate the experience with ease and flow because of grace. There is no striving or achieving. There's being. And being a living temple for divine flow. There is no effort in the small self anymore. Just a peace that befalls you in this new way of being. And everything flows with beauty and ease. You have an intrinsic knowing that you are home. That's right, even in this world at this time, you know you are home. So how do you get to this place of letting go of your worries? Well, first you really need to understand that you're a swan in a duck world. You're a swan. So you don't operate on the same paradigm. You don't operate in the material world the same way. You are in a state of surrender to divine flow, in source connection. All things are provided to you by your divine parents. And you are at peace, just being. And all the actions you take in the three-dimensional world are purely inspired. No mind, full heart. Full heart, filled with divine. So I would encourage you to remember this when you're really feeling that exhaustion because you're just putting so much effort in with no return, no satiation, no fulfillment. It's time to let that go. It's time to move on. Know who you really are. Know you operate differently. And you'll find that peace too. So, hope this gives you encouragement and you resonate with this because it's true. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe and share, and have a beautiful day. Bye.